Hello, good morning. It is a beautiful morning that the Lord has made, and we will rejoice and be glad in it. We apologize for starting late. This is today's live on Equa Television International, and we're excited that you are able to join us for this discussion today. As you know, today is Wednesday, and every Wednesday we talk about relationship. Today is not going to be different. We are looking at the topic sexual compatibility. Sexual compatibility. My name is Jemima Emmanuel, and I'm not doing this alone. I have with me on the set today Engineer Tony J. Nakali. Good morning.
Happy to be here.
Solomon Sambo. Good morning.
Good morning, Jemima.
And we have a guest today, Tasi Gata. Good morning.
Thank you. Good morning.
We're glad to have you.
Thank you.
So Tasi Gata is a consultant with Grace and Light International Ministry. She is married to Nehemiah Gata, and they have a daughter with many more adopted children. Thank you. And she has been married for 31 years.
Wow, amazing. I heard a lot about her before I met her.
Oh.
Yeah, when we were talking about this topic, before we settled who we were bringing,
Yes.
Uncle has insisted.
Thank you.
It's nice having you.
Thank you. It's nice
Thank
having you.
It's good to be here.
Great,
Mhm.
great. We're
Yeah.
happy.
Yes. So we're looking at sexual compatibility. And I would like to start with you.
Of course.
Yes, what is sexual compatibility?
Well, I hope, Jemima, you are not just talking to me because I'm married 31 years and I have had a lot of sex. It's because...
That's a good way to start the show. I want to hear this louder, so let me push the mic closer.
Well, I just want to say that it is a very important topic. I agree. I'm happy that you have picked this topic to discuss this morning. When we talk about compatibility as an English word, it's just two things. So two people agreeing to do something mutually and they have no problem, no issues around the problems. But when we bring sexual compatibility to that, it means we are talking about two people coming together, especially now husband and wife, being able to agree together sexually and get satisfaction at the end of the whole sexual experience.
Oh, great.
Do you think when we're talking about compatibility, in just a very short time you have explained a lot of things, including the ones we didn't ask you, but do you think when somebody has more to demand from his partner, he is wrong?
He may be wrong, I may not be wrong. I'm happy I'm talking on a Christian TV today. I don't have to go secular.
But it's important. If you have points that you have to touch, disregard that. We will deal with our leaders later. We will beg them later.
So when we would just talk about sexual compatibility generally, I would say one is free to demand as much as they can, even the Christian way, because in 1 Corinthians chapter 5 verse 4 to 5 is talking about our bodies are no longer ours. The moment you commit yourself to somebody, according to the Bible, you don't have your own body. Your body belongs to the person. So in that case, you can demand as much as you can, as much as you want, if it comes to sexual issues. But also, if you are a good Christian, you would know there is consideration, because life is all about giving. It's not about just receiving. So in that matter, we can say in your high demands of sexual compatibility or sexual satisfaction, you would want to consider your partner.
Okay. In considering your partner, wouldn't the partner want to learn new things as well? Because a lot of times you have problems when, especially the men, come with something new. The women don't only fight it, but they fault his knowledge of it.
Yeah.
So how can that be addressed?
Well, let me start by saying that it's not always the woman that fault the man in this case.
Okay.
I am a counselor as well, and I have met men or women that or the man faulting the wife because of some things she has brought into their sexual life.
Okay.
And the man would want to say, where did you learn from? And are you hallowed before, or something like that? Just those words. So we fault each other. But it's not just about faulting each other. I want us to understand that when we are talking about sexual compatibility, we are trying to bring the fact that there is a creation to sex, and it's something that everyone needs. And in doing that, something that helps a couple to be able to be compatible in this relationship is that they are able to talk with no boundaries, talk with no shame, that they are able to say to each other what they feel, what they desire. For every couple, there must be questions asked around sexual issues so that they are able to not fault each other at all and would be free in expressing themselves and satisfying each other. But I also, because we've talked to the male, on the male side, many husbands, many male partners would want to think sex is all about orgasm, about reaching climax and finishing, and that's all. And that is why we would come to talk maybe on incompatibility. Somebody would think, especially men, that when they don't reach orgasm, they don't satisfy themselves fully, then we are not compatible. I need to look for another person.
I think that is mostly from the women part, because women complain, men are quick commerce and you just do what you want and you get off. But me, in most cases, we have heard, we have read, we have seen, people have talked about it, but you are switching it up on us now.
I am not,
because it's two-way.
Yes, I'm not switching it off because truly speaking, it takes longer for a woman to reach orgasm. In other words, to get satisfied. And from my years of experience, and also talking to many more families, partners, I have come to realize that women take it easy when it comes to satisfaction, and they don't get it because, as you said, men come quickly and it's over. So many of these female partners don't get the satisfaction, but they are still there. Only that the men complain. If a man is not satisfied, he is either saying you are killing him or something that is not happening. So in this case, there should be talk. Well, all I am saying, if we are talking about compatibility today, we need to make sure that there is communication between the two to understand what their needs are, where they are going, what they would achieve at the end of it, and how they would feel good together. But remembering also that this compatibility is possible for everyone, whether satisfied, whether reaching orgasm or not reaching orgasm, because we cannot just off it and say, I'm not getting it, so she needs to pack. Oh, I'm not getting it, I need another husband. It doesn't work that way. Yeah.
Solo, you have been itching to ask a question since your hand has been like this. But I want to ask you a question. You are a married man. I want to ask you a question.
Okay, before I ask my
Yes.
question. Okay.
How do we deal with this issue of you are satisfied, I'm not satisfied, and you are satisfied, you just left, whether it's from the man or the woman? How can we practically, what should the people that are not satisfied, what should they do for their partners to be satisfied?
Well, she touched part
Speaking
of it.
from experience.
Yes, she touched part of it. Married for 15 years now.
No, 31.
31.
Me.
Okay.
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 Yeah, 15. So I have my own back and forth too. You understand? But with the question you asked, I think she touched part of it. Most part, we miss it in communication because I'm coming with my own expectation, and then I'm not looking at the other person's expectation. And then at most cases, you find that the men are selfish. Selfish in the sense that we feel we are the ones that are more bash. So whenever you feel you arose, you just feel you just want to come, and then you sleep. And maybe that's the time she's feeling, man, the game have started. And then you are snoring.
The person is snoring.
Yeah,
You are looking at me and you are
no,
saying it.
you know, I mean, the other partner
The
is
camera should not
is
interpret like you are talking to me.
and then the other person is sleeping. And you see, like she said, women take it easy, and I think it's based based on our culture that, you know, the women look up to the men, and then from orientation, you know, during marriages you will hear that, now you are in, whatever he asks, however he asks, just do it as he so pleases. So even when she's not satisfied because of that thing that they told her, so she feel everything is about the man while she's dying in silence. So I think it is very important to ignite the issue of communication, because in Christian marriage I don't see compatibility, but I see communication. Because if you talk compatibility, that is where I think the question that I wanted to ask earlier, that's when you hear all these young people that are into relationship, they are taking it as an excuse. They will tell you that they want to try to know if they are compatible. So automatically it's against the Christian ethics, the Christian rule. So when you talk about compatibility, that's when you find out the young people are jumping from one person to the other,
Looking for compatible partner.
and then they will always tell you they are not they have not yet found somebody that they feel they are compatible.
Or they
you
find, but they say she has bad character.
Yes. So you see, but the reason why I'm talking about communication in the sense that we all have to agree that we are one. So can we talk about this issue of sex? And you look at it from background, our parents shy away from talking about this thing. They just give you a straitjacket information to just live with it. How you discover, how you go about it, they don't want to know. So you find out sometimes is when the couples are friends, they are open to talk outside boundaries, that they embrace the issue of they pick the topic of sex and they talk about it deeply, and then they like, you know, I don't like the way when you come and then you neglect me and then you just pass on, you start snoring, and they be like, wow, oh, is that? I don't know. So okay, next time I will step up. And then sometimes you find out some will just after having sex, the man doesn't want the woman to even touch him again. At that point, that is when the woman wants you to just cuddle her. That's just what she need at that moment. You understand? But you will not find that there. So communication is the best way to deal with it. We have to just be open to each other to know where the other partner is liking, and then you step up.
Jemima, if we are talking about communication, do you think just talking is enough for me to know your level of compatibility to me as my before I marry you?
I think, Jemima, you don't have to answer this question, because
You want to answer it?
I'll return it to you.
Okay.
But even when he was talking about communication, I was thinking we are not bringing it close to for people to understand this communication. He has brought one example of the communication. Hey, guy, oh sweetheart, I don't like this. You finish and you snow. That is one question in communication. But even in relationship, I like it when he talked about the fact that the world explore. Before they get married, they explore to see whether they are compatible. I want to tell whoever is listening to me, if you are into that, you are taking yourself to doom. Because at the end of it, you are trying so much that you won't be satisfied with one, and you will be exploring even in marriage. Some people continue in adultery, as the Bible will call it, because they have explored so much. And they are feeling, I am not satisfied. I'm not compatible with this one at home. But the only singular reason is because they have explored, thinking that is the best way to find the right one. At the end of it, no right one. But when we talk about the communication, what are we looking at? We are looking at, even in relationship issues, of what turns you on. And you will talk about it with your partner, married or not married. Those that are married, but it's not too late, because that is what you will do. What turns you on and what turns you off, because there are things that send somebody off even for not wanting to be satisfied.
Yes.
And then, how do you want it? How do you have any way you want us to look at it? And the Bible says we are not supposed to be ashamed of each other. In not being ashamed, communication should flow easily, not hiding your face. Talk to him as it's supposed to be. And you ask her questions. You ask him questions on how he would be satisfied. What are those things he wants to explore? Then by the time we are doing that, we see that compatibility goes easy. So Jemima, back to you, because you are supposed to answer what he asked.
Madam, where are you from?
Oh,
Yeah, your state of origin.
Adama,
Okay.
Okay, you
but
asked
Kasina by
about
marriage.
Okay, wow,
So
amazing.
it's a mix.
That's amazing.
And you
amazing.
don't ask, you don't talk, in the Kasina
I
area.
know.
Sorry, Kasina people.
No, yeah.
so you asked about how do you communicate
How
aside
can
talking.
communication
Mhm.
give rise to that knowledge that we are compatible? Extremely. Just talking.
Just talking.
Yes.
Well, asking the right questions, I would say.
Okay.
When you're communicating, you don't ask in you don't ask in a bunch. You pick the question, just like she said. You ask, okay, what turns you on? If we are to have sex now, how would you want me to do that with you? How would you, if you know about styles, what style do you think you would prefer? Now you're not married, so it's not about asking questions and then going practical. No, you're just asking. At that point, you get to know who will not take a particular aspect. Okay, you'll be like, okay, this partner does not like sex this much and I do like sex. From that point, you begin to know. So by the time you get married, nothing will be new to you anymore, because there are those that will say, oh, me, I have high libido and I don't like it. The moment I want to have sex is only when I need children. From the relationship, when you ask the right questions, you will know if this person is compatible or not. Probably you may not even know 100%, but you would have
An
a
idea.
greater idea
Okay.
than not asking the right
Well,
questions.
do you think from the response it is enough to agree and place your sexual life in the hands of that person?
No, it is not enough.
So what do you do? Why are you quiet? What do you do? I'm just curious to know.
Well, I feel you don't give up. You keep finding other ways, other avenues.
Because anybody that wants to hoard certain things from you, maybe because of something they have heard, they will never tell you what you want to hear. And that is why a lot of people that are in marriage now are having problems, because of these things that were hidden to them, this knowledge that they did not find out. There are people, can you believe that I met a woman who has not experienced her husband close to a year, and they have been in the same house? Was she craving? Yes. Did she ask? Yes. But it didn't come.
Well, I think that is not our only answer. When we talk about communication, it's not just our only answer. There are so many other answers to add up to communication. Only that communication in marriage, everybody knows, is very important, plus communication, sexual communication. But when we are talking about being compatible, even in sexual issues, there should be friendship. I think we need to be friends to each other, because you can communicate. The communication can be a quarreling communication after all. But when we are talking about being compatible, we have to think of friendship. That friendship you have carried from relationship, you have to bring it into marriage. And then you have to have interests, similar interests, bring values. Sometimes you have to leave one interest to move to another one. My husband was a footballer and a hockey player for the state at a time. But it's not my interest. Even when I go to watch him, I'm not into it since friendship. So we have to deal with that one and find what values can we bring together? So by the time you are really working together, sex and satisfaction don't just happen. Unless you have all these interests, values together, and then you are friends. And for men, I want to say you have to begin to help your wife, your partner, in the things she should do. Like earlier we said women don't get satisfied easily. We can be satisfied if the husband was there from the day, not just in the night. He should be there from the morning if you want. Go to office, send me beautiful text messages. All of those things are ingredients that will bring compatibility in sexual.
This woman is not old, though.
I am old.
No, you are not. The information you have is always fresh. I seem to stand like I am on the opposite from what you're saying, but I think it's important. The show cannot just be
one-sided.
Yes, one side. If we talk about communication before marriage, and I'm communicating with the person I want to marry, and I start, like you said, start discussing styles, sexual styles, and all of that. Let's assume this person that I'm dealing with has never had sex in her life. What information can she possibly have about her own sexual life that will be of benefits to me?
Ask her to read. Bring books that she can read.
But can books explain how I can react emotionally as a person?
No, it's for you to begin to pick up from there.
To
it's
give
not
her an
you.
idea.
Yeah, good. That is the word.
But you see, a lot of times you find women saying, these things you bring, they are tiring. Can't we just do it the normal way? And because of the love the man has for his wife, he does it the normal way. And God helps him. One day he goes out and he finds that compatibility elsewhere. He comes home as though nothing has happened outside, but things have been happening outside, but and the wife is happy. He's just doing it the way I want. He's not satisfied. Men hardly ever discuss sex with their partners. I notice. Women want to talk about it. I am not satisfied. You just come and touch me and sleep, like Solo said, and sleep and snore. I'm not satisfied. Are you doing it elsewhere? And you see, men these days, men complain that if you sleep 1 year with a woman on the bed, she can never touch you. I've heard a lot of men complaining like it is the man's hers to wake up and look for it. Even if the woman is in need, she doesn't do anything. So that's a huge problem. Maybe the woman is getting it elsewhere, or she's not happy with your activity sexually. Because there are women you meet, they tell you, this one that you are a pastor, we will keep pastor aside, oh. I want this thing very well, oh. If you cannot, let me go and look for somebody. You're like, you know me, I will give it to you, I will show you. But at the end, nothing to show for. So this issue of compatibility sexually, I think it is something very important that should be discussed to its nitty-gritty. Why? I've heard a pastor preach, and I've shared it with you. The pastor preached, and he said that a woman is suffering, she's going through a lot, that the husband is demanding for different kinds of sex from her. He wants to use his mouth, he wants to do oral with her, that they should pray for the woman. I heard that at a devotion by a reverend.
Wow.
So he said even that is a sin before God. That's why he said. So how do we deal with this? Is what makes my partner happy and I'm willing to do it. It's a different thing. It makes me happy. My partner is not willing to do it. She considers that as a sin. How should we deal with that?
Well, the easy one, since it's all eyes on me.
Yes, you are the guest.
The easy way to go, I think, is for them to have counseling. One thing we are ignoring in this part of the world is counseling. And people go into these things without counseling. And the pastors we go to had no counseling on this. They have no expertise.
Yeah.
They have their issues. I had met many clergy that would not even have sex with their wives whether the wife demands or they until they want. That's what the pastor would tell me. He said, sex, because I deal with sexual and gender-based violence cases, and a clergy would say, yes, that is his format, that no sexual intercourse
Until he wants.
So in such cases, you take it to your pastor, the pastor have no expertise on sexual matters and breaks your home at the end. Wasn't the situation by even speaking on it and asking for prayer, prayer as a prayer item. So I said, I think this part of the world needs to go back to counseling and begin to look for many experts out there.
Did you study that?
I didn't study that.
So how do you know a
well,
lot?
I had courses to be where I am in this work. I had courses, different courses on what I am doing. So in that matter, I would be able to, if I am a counselor on couples, then I should be able to help them understand the issues of sex. And for some, I want to say again, whoever is listening and to all of us, that the issue of just leaving the man to ask tired men out. A woman should be able to understand what to do to get her husband to know, to make him the man he is. Because the man he is, for a man, is to show for him that, hey, you are able and I am all for you. So women should be able to do that. But I just want to say, if people have problems like that, they should look for a counselor. But I want to stand here and also say there are some psychological issues that needs not just a counselor, but a doctor. Medical or physiological, psychological issues that has to do with sexual matters. And they need a real doctor. Because I had cases where I knew that I can't handle this in counseling.
It has to be medical.
Yes, the wife would say it pains. It pains. She cries. She gives, but she cries in the process of sexual intercourse. Why? Not because she doesn't like him, but because it hurts. It pains. So in such cases, they need medical advice. They need to check with the hospital so that they can have some solution.
But in a case of upbringing, probably
Zemima,
the
you seem
lady
to have a
grew
lot
up.
of questions.
No, I wanted to pick up based on what she just said.
Yeah.
In a case of a particular upbringing, they brought up this lady in a particular way, and so she is married now and she's not interested. Initially, you said it can be a psychological thing. It hurts her whenever they are having sex, but this is not psychological. This is cultural. They brought her in this particular way. Will the doctor be able to?
No, that is why, if you remember, Jemima, I said they can either see a counselor
or
a
medical doctor.
Okay. So
It
can a counselor change her mentality?
No, if it has to do with pain,
probably she
The
grew
pain
up
is
for
the
the last
doctor
30
one.
years holding onto a particular culture, and she's married now. Can this counselor pull out that mentality she has all these years? And
with some sessions, with a lot of sessions with the husband, they can pull it out, because they will have a counselor will have to go deep, dug into where it started, what happened, what is her information. And for some other women, there has been genital mutilation. In that case, the clitoris that gives you the desire is not even there. So you are just there to satisfy the man. And in such cases, no, I don't want. So you can come with whatever libido you have. I'm not ready. Or she just open and she's not ready for any style to get satisfaction. So all of it needs counseling that will be difficult. Some of them are difficult, but it's doable. And they can come up again and do.
I was going to ask about something that you brought up earlier. Is it a scientific fact that the woman must be late and the man must be early? Because this complaint, if there is any joke made about sex, is men coming fast. If there is any seriousness about sex, is men coming fast. Women are mostly not satisfied. Man is satisfied and he's done. When the woman is thinking, it has not even started for me. What you are already, madam, all this one I've been doing, all this time, it's only been a minute. and then the man is done. Is that also medical, scientific, or cultural, as Jemima said?
I don't think it's cultural, neither is it scientific. It's about individual physiology. But I also I want to bring to the fact that, like I said earlier, it depends on what the man does from the beginning. The reason women don't come up quickly is because our minds are occupied with so much.
Yeah, gossip.
We are not really gossip.
Okay.
It's all the
Sorry,
chores.
that's just what came to my mind. I'm sorry.
Not the gossip.
Tami, can we ask Ashasa now? Apologize.
You better apologize. It's that we have so much that we have carried and we are taking it to bed. Some we are not even ready for the bed. It's because the man said, "What are you still doing?" I'm on bed. So we just want to go and satisfy him. And some of the women would even leave it after and go back to what they have left. So much in the head that I'm not in this. But truly speaking, we can come out the same time. Orgasm can happen the same time. If the man will be patient, some men don't even know how to do it. Truly, they go on and off, they release. But if it's a man that also is thinking of that woman with all his love, he would prepare and work on himself, not to just satisfy himself. There's so many ways which I won't tell you here. Don't even ask me.
Okay.
So much that men can do to hold on. Not to reach orgasm.
Don't you think it's helpful?
Not to reach orgasm until the woman is also ready.
Moses has interest.
And
he's
even
behind the camera begging you to tell him what to. Moses, come back and
I would tell any man to go meet another man unless you come to my office. Let's talk about it.
Please,
but meet another
can
man.
we drop your number on air so that people can talk to you? Is that okay?
It's okay.
Or website or Facebook? Do you have a Facebook?
Yeah.
Okay, what is the name on Facebook?
Tasigata.
Tasigata.
The beautiful name, always, anywhere.
So that is just TASSY?
TASSIE.
Okay.
GHATA, Gata.
Okay.
So
if you want to learn how to hold it, Tasigata, facebook.com/Tasigata, they will teach you there. Inbox, not on your wall.
Yes. So men can train themselves. Talk to older men that had gone through this and have suffered, and then learn how to hold it and move with your wife. Even in intercourse, in sexual intercourse, there is communication. You'll be talking. Are you coming? Are you closer? Are you there? So you can move together, and it's very beautiful to really reach orgasm together. And that is something that everyone, compatibility is in the way you handle it. The second bit of it is Hausa people would say, Juma na gari daga yaushe ake gani?
Talata, Laraba.
In that case, please, like I said earlier, play with your wife. When you come back, play with her, bring something. All that our parents have been doing, bring suya, don't give children, and move to the room with, all prepares the woman and decongests her mind that her husband needs her. She's in the kitchen, you come, no kiss, nothing. Just go, and you are even waiting for her to greet you. You are thinking you have worked harder. She's just in the house, or her work is not as special. All of that doesn't count. Show your wife you love her. Help her to cook. Help her to serve. Help her to wash the plate. All of it is a signal that would help you at the end of it get what you want, because she has seen love practical. Then she would give you the sexual.
You talk about washing plates and so on. Is it regular? Because I know certain people that do it regular, like to show love. but at the end of the day,
It was
becomes
abuse.
like
Becomes
yeah,
their
it was
work.
abuse. Like
Okay,
like
she
it's
meant
their
the
right.
man to wash the plate.
Yes.
Like it's the process.
Me,
Like
my
you
man
meet
has
her-
been on that holding it.
Yeah, I know.
That lecture holding it.
I know that works because while you are helping her to wash the plate, there is a certain place you touch her while rinsing the plate and stuff like that, and then whispering certain.
So if you buy meat, I
You
only her
understand?
eats.
But
She
when-
should know that she's the only one paying.
Yes, all of that one. You
So
have
anytime I buy meat, my wife, anytime I buy meat and I don't give the children,
Just
know
know-
that you are the one paying. If I give them, nothing will happen. But if you chop alone, you pay alone. That's a very good strategy.
Well, you are checking whether it's going to be regular,
yes.
regular or not regular. I just want to say women should not take it for granted. Though for men too. Who said chores are for women? We
The
are all
Bible.
men in this. We are supposed to do it together. I have seen a couple where the husband would have bigger money, the woman would have bigger money in her job place than the man. So they decided, man, withdraw. You stay at home. And when the wife comes, not taken for granted, yes, she's the worker, rush to help him and kiss him, and he has already finished all the chores. And they will be satisfied together. And in the morning, she's going out again while he's in the house. So whether it's always or not always, all I am saying, be there. Make this woman your girlfriend in those days. The one that
Fall in
Tinkles.
love every day.
and the one that you can't close your eyes without trying, even when there's no phone, you are trying to. I have to see her. After prayer, you see her the last. Please make sure you are touching her, you are speaking good things, and you are helping with your hands. All together brings out this orgasm at the end of the day.
And have you always been this way all your life? Or you just, when you got married, now you started all of this thing? You sound like an interesting wife to be with. Believe me. And I have to give that to you because people hardly practice what they preach. Some people tell you this is just a profession. I don't have to go home and practice. But even if you tell me that, I will find it to be something that is not true. You sound like you are talking about yourself. You sound real. There's nothing fake coming out of you. And I think if people are watching, they should learn. Recently, I was watching a video, all these reels on Facebook. You see all these short clips, and a man was playing with his wife. They were laughing, and Solo was there, and one of our staff does not. I said, why can't marriage be this way? Why must it be? Are you just coming now? Even if you have plans as a wife or husband of killing my husband tonight, and then you come back and the husband is like, you close at 4, you are just coming walk back home at 6. Where did you go to? It kills your spirit. You see, this thing that is called love is a two-way traffic. The other person is coming from that direction, you are coming from this direction. If the other person slows down, you slow down. If the other person moves fast, you move fast. Because everything has to be done in accordance of the covenant that you have together. I love you, I love you. For better, for worse, for better, for worse. In sickness and in health, whatever happens, I'm saying, forsaking every other man, every other woman to be with you. But today, what love was is not what it is today. You find people just marrying for the sake of having children. They hardly even sit down and just, like me, I wash plate, I wash cloth, why is it?
And you are getting the best.
They don't believe. Which is, there are certain things, madam, I have to be honest with you. I don't do. I don't wash plate. I don't wash clothes. But I can brag that I'm a provider. I can brag that I am always available when I'm needed for any reason. There are certain things I believe, like you said that who said house chores is for the woman, and I said the Bible. You didn't hear me then.
I would have answered.
I was just joking. But you see, I just believe, just like you said, if the woman makes the money more than the man, and she's the busy type, if the husband is at home, you should try to do some things. You should cook. You should do that. When you get busy, I think it's time for me and you to get a house help or a cook, somebody that can cook and maybe not necessarily stay with us. You can cook and leave.
Mhm.
Pick the kids from school and come back because we are both busy. But if I'm less busy, why would I not do it? Why would I not do it? There was a day I was washing my car. My car was cleaner than my wife's car. But I was washing my car. I said, this woman's car is dirty. Something was telling me, why would you wash a woman's car? Let her wash her car. And in my mind, I said, what if somebody even comes to the house and sees my wife washing her car? So I said, no, I think that is manly. Why should I leave my wife to wash her car? And then I washed it, brought out the carpet, scrubbed it, and all of that. And my wife is the kind of person that leaves shoes, gele, her tie, this one inside car. You know, I don't know, maybe she's proving a point that is her car, I don't know. But you must see bag, you must see a tie, you must see one leg of shoe inside, the other one there. Some women are like that. But I cleaned it up. It pained me, but I was asking myself, why am I in pain? You bought the car, you said it is hers, you gave it to her. Why are you in pain? So when I finished washing, I demanded for payment, and they paid me sexually, and it worked.
And that's it.
It worked.
You don't have to
I
demand.
don't know why an unmarried person is on this end, looking as if she's not looking. Matter if that camera shakes, you should concentrate on that camera. No.
I think that question, there's this question that I think you didn't, I didn't
Answer
really get.
well.
Yes.
Yeah.
Ha.
This part that should a woman ask? I think that
Should a woman,
asks for sex.
a man or a woman?
Woman
woman.
asks the man.
Seeing that the man is always the one
because
asking.
it's always the side. And truly, if you listen to conversation out there, men are really
Going through a lot.
going through a lot.
I think that is why the issue of side chick
Yeah.
is fast rising.
I wanted to say, madam, if you are not going to ask your husband, just get ready for another woman outside, because it's easier, and there are so many out there that are asking
and willing.
and before you ask, you are willing, really, and they are asking, and the man is thinking, hey, let me just satisfy her for a little, but before he knows he's into it, a woman must ask. It's a mutual thing, sexual, like we all talked. Sex is between two people that will agree. That is why I brought the definition earlier. They would have to agree with no problems that we are going to make this work. So if that is the case, both of you would have to ask. And it makes man the man he is when his wife asks him for sex. And for many times, but men also, because of the culture, would say, why are you asking me? I have counseled a couple where he said, tell her she should leave this asking. She's too much for me. Where she's too much for you, then you are not helping also. You're not helping her. It's vice versa. But on the majority, it's not necessary that the man asks. Why can't he give him a surprise? Thank you for the compliments. Maybe if my husband will be seated somewhere to listen,
He will wash your car too.
no Nepal. Well, he washes we do mutual. I wash my husband's car, 2 cars together. I wash my own washes. So all about this life for a couple to be compatible and enjoy sexual life is, Hausa would say, rige nagargarong ayuka. You just make up your mind that we are going to compete in this marriage, but not competing on other things, competing on doing the right thing for each other. So doing the right thing for each other would even answer the sexual bit. Because I want to make sure I ask him, I give him the best, and he is also going to work hard to give me the best and make sure he's not busy snoring there. He would have to check, should he put on another gear to help if I am not satisfied? Because it's all about competition to give the best to each other. Knowing also that in this thing, God is interested and he will reward for whatever we have done, not just for work, but sexual. When you consider somebody God is seeing and knowing that you are not a selfish person. Because selfishness is what is bringing uncompatibility. You just want yourself. It's me. I want to be all right. And whether it's a woman, I don't want to now say it's more men or more women. We are all in it. Selfishness, self-centeredness is something we have gotten from the day the devil fell. And when the world has failed before God, self-centeredness entered. Everyone wants me. It's all about me. And that is why the man would not want to even help his wife. That is why he won't go to play with her. He has come back from work. He wants to be him. It's me. So if we remove the me, we would be satisfied all in
Okay,
whichever
there's a question I want to ask. We spoke about it earlier on, but I just want more that you buttress more on it. It's about the unmarried really talking about their sexual compatibility. I've had a young man speaking passionately about how he would want his wife to satisfy him sexually. He doesn't care about any other aspect, but that particular sexual aspect, he is so much interested in it. But then I'm imagining myself being single, and then I am dating someone that is coming and telling me what is the sexual style you would want. I think I would just want to run away from that guy because I would term him as a bad boy. You know, our parents will always say, there are certain people you don't mingle with. So if someone I'm dating is asking me questions that have to do with what sex style will you want, how much sex do you think you will have, I would want to avoid such a person. So how can people that are not married and really want to make the right choice on sexual compatibility partners, how do they engage in such conversations respectfully?
Well, there are
without
two
scaring their partners
categories
away.
of courtship. There are some that takes long to do courtship, and they keep asking questions that instead of helping them, tortures them. So I want to say, if you are this one that you are just into, let me have 2 years with you, let's study each other, let's know ourselves and get married, I want to say again, find a counselor that will go through this period with you. There are so many things in marriage that counseling is not happening. We do it in the church quickly. 4 months we are done and they don't know what they are doing.
Some can do it in a weekend.
Yes, so that is not good. We had a counselor. Surprisingly, I had an 11 years relationship, but we see each other like twice a year because he lives in Jos while I'm in Yola. But we have some pastor friends that we know are married counselors. They are dealing with youth, and when he's in Yola, we are seeing one of them, and he follows through. And he would help us hold on that we are getting married sometime somewhere, but there are things we need to understand. So I want to say, to engage where you are not tortured by what you are checking with your spouse to be, find a counselor, find a senior friend that will hold your hands. You'll be talking about it. You can come before the person. He can give you, why would you talk about sex today? So talk, let's hear. And even I know I have done with some people that he kept himself, she kept herself, but mommy, how do we know there's even a hole in the vagina? How will we know he would? And I have to sit with them individually to promise that he is not impotent, and to promise that she has hole in the vagina, and I can look for, as a female, I can check for her, and they can wait. So the world is coming dynamic, but also free for everyone. As a Christian, we are not supposed to be free. We're supposed to hold each other's hands to make it clean and to enjoy ourselves after. So they should find somebody. But ordinary, do you think you would need sex? That is emotional part. We are created male and female, and there is emotion in it, and it's nothing to be ashamed of it. Do you feel sexual harassment sometimes? Yes. Okay, already you are understanding each other that you can reach somewhere with these feelings. The feelings God gives from the age of 13, all the emotions of sexual feelings. You can even share with your girlfriend as you are going that, I feel this way. I wet the bed when I was 13 and now I'm 24. And sometimes I feel that, hey, don't worry, young man, I am coming. I'm going to satisfy that bit. Those kind of easy play and knowing your boundaries is what they will do. But when it comes to deeper ones that they think they are fearful, find a senior friend to hold their hands.
True. Find someone that would hold your hand.
You can't just come to a lady and start asking for sex styles. You have not talked about, of course, you have not talked about you have not checked how she can raise your children. You cannot check her, you can't check, you have not checked if she can be a good mother. You have not even checked other compatibilities besides sex. And that is it can be paramount in your life as a man. But it shouldn't be the ultimate.
Of course.
If the woman is 100% sexual and she's satisfying you, but your house is always dirty, your food is always tasting terrible and all of that, what have you achieved? I think this relationship thing, like she said, honestly, this counseling thing, not knowing anything about relationship and going into it, is like you want to go to a workplace and look for a job, but you didn't go to school. And believe me, this marriage issue is more difficult handling it than jobs. Because you have colleagues to help you. But in marriage, who will help you?
True.
So I think people should not be, just because we're talking about sex, of course, but this marriage issue, let's not streamline it to sex like it's the only thing. It's important, it's paramount. But you should check. In fact, for me, how hygienic is that woman? Because if she can give you the sex but she's not clean, how do you want that to happen? A woman that is entering the bathroom to shower once in 3 days, how can you enjoy sex with her? So I think even when you talk about sex, check her hygiene. Check a lot of things. There are parents, that have said, Kin fara girma fa ki guje maza. That's not an information. Ka fara girma fa ka kiyaye mata. Kai kana shan sugar sosai in kai girma ka ga illan da sugar zai maka. That is not an information. My father used to tell me that. Ka rage shan sugar fa, but aka gane yanzu ba sai kai girma.
To make me
I didn't
understand.
know anything. I was a young boy enjoying sugar.
Thinking maybe he's talking about diabetes.
Me, I didn't even know diabetes. I thought maybe I would become crippled or something. The man didn't tell me. So when I started going to school, secondary school, I heard boys discussing all. I said, Shine babana fada dunkule. You see, so that means parents have if you don't teach your children about sex, they will learn it, however. But the danger is they might learn it the wrong way from the wrong people. There are people that will tell you, I don't care. What is until I get married? I will do it now. Or if I don't enjoy it, I move to another person.
And young men now, they use that sex thing to make women look less of themselves. Like, because you are hoping that somebody will come and ask your hand in marriage, and then possibly you are seeing the guy and you are thinking that's just the guy that you will stuck with, and then he is using the issue of sex to threaten you, to make you feel if you don't go his way when he's talking about sex or he's asking sex, there will be no marriage. And then you see them easily giving in. At the end of the day,
they don't even marry
they
them.
don't even marry them.
That is it.
So I think this issue of counseling while courting in courtship, I think it's very, very important, and I love the angle which you put. If our young people that are deliberate, that they want to bring out a healthy
home,
marriage,
yeah.
a God-fearing family, if they start that way, looking at somebody that is older, when she was talking, I was just imagining, I said, I was just thinking about when I was planning to get married. I said, I wish, like,
You heard her.
yes, or
No, it's
like
not you can correct.
no, what
you
I'm
can
saying
correct.
that like now I'm saying like now I'm in courtship. I think I would just engage her to just be our counselor, because sometimes the older ones will really help either the man or the woman. Because just imagine a woman that a man is putting her in a fix, telling her certain things that she cannot really verify. And then the older woman, like her, as a counselor professional, is telling her, by him saying this or asking for this is where he's going. So be careful. Once you see this, know that it's red flag. You know that you don't belong here. So quickly move out. Or this and that. That will really help. And before you know it, to guide our young ones, because the issue of freedom now that you talk about that the world is giving, that's what the world is telling everyone the world is free. You can do whatever you want to do and get away with it. It's your body. Nobody will ask you. You do it the way you want it. So, and it's really causing a problem even in the church, because even the church is not all that we are getting it right, like you mentioned. And I always say this, even on this set.
So
like,
how can we get it right when pastors are not getting it right?
That's
You said you heard it. She said clergymen have come, and the man is saying until he asks, you don't have the right to ask.
So what do you have to tell someone else?
There's a cultural issue.
Our time is really gone. I lost track of time. I just found out that we have gone way overboard. But quickly, I want you to address this issue, and then Jemima, who is a co-presenter, can close the show. Women are hardly ever satisfied with sex. Right now, women have, because of compatibility, women are resorting to using toys and things that are self-powered to take them as long as they want. I watched a very, very viral video on Facebook on a reel. The lady was saying the consistency of this toy and the consistency of my husband's tongue is not anything to be compared. So I got this to help my husband, and he's cool with it. When he's finished, the toy, if I'm not satisfied, the toy will finish it for me. What do you have to say about that?
No, I just want to say that is devilish. I'm sorry to just mention it blunt, that bringing something instead of what God has prepared is devilish. It's just like going back to LGBT. I'm sorry to talk about all LGBT here, but that is just that. Something God says no is all about the life we are living in now, with everybody thinking of me and self. So for anyone to go into that, it's wrong. But please, men, also try and get satisfy this woman, because from what you are saying, she compared the two and it's not working. And why it's not working is because he's being just the man he is, not the unselfish man. He's just being selfish, satisfying himself, and she's not satisfied. Methods to raise up woman's desire to a certain stage. If you are a man and you feel that your wife is not satisfied, please, if it means fingering, if it means playing, whatever that will take her up there, so that at your own time you finish up, and that wife will be satisfied, will be better. And whoever is using any other thing, that is why there is lesbianism. They feel the men are not doing it well. Let's compatible.
Yeah, let's look for compatibility.
And handle ourselves in our own way. So please, no, that is not what God wants. God wants you with that man he has prepared in your life, and that woman he has prepared for you. Talk about it and make sure you don't go outside what you are doing.
Thank you very much. Please, madam, you won't be tired. We will host you regularly, because every Wednesday we talk about love, relationship, and when we have issues that have to do with your specialty, we will bring you. Thank you, Jemima Solo and Mommy Tessie. Tassie. We are Tassie Gata. We are going to have Mommy Tassie Gata. Believe me now, when you go to your Facebook, you call me and tell me there are a lot of men. Moses is itching to go and pick his phone and declare interest on how to hold it. Men, we want to know how to hold it. Victor, go and learn how to hold it. Thank you very much, Equa Executive, for giving us the opportunity to do this, and thanks to Equa TV supporters for keeping us on air. We have heard and we have learned a lot. I have learned a lot. Everybody has learned a lot. We are going to see reactions on Facebook. So Madam will be there. If you ask questions, we'll redirect it to her and she will answer. We'll see you tomorrow on today's live with another episode. Be kind to one another. God bless you. Bye.